Okay, in the other video that I did about measuring bits, I talked about how I like the spade to be half the length of the shank overall, but I kind of got nervous because I was looking at the camera and so I didn't get to say all I meant to say about it. The reason I like it to be that way, I did say, is because it squares everything up and it makes the whole bit balance real good, and keeps all your dimensions real correct. I find that if your spade's significantly shorter or significantly longer than that measurement, half the distance, you get a bit that just doesn't really balance. It kind of rattles around in a horse's mouth and they can't hold on to it really good. So this bit is right at that. We've got a 7-inch shank and a 3.5-inch spade. This bit, on the other hand, is a 7-inch shank and a 5.5-inch spade. So it kind of falls out of that realm. This is a Magini spade, a man named Sam Magini. It was what he trained with. Then Tony Emerell had Sam's actual one and then a couple copies. Billy Arthur has Tony's spades and a couple of copies, and then I have a couple of copies too. So even though it doesn't really fit into my program with all my measurements, it works really good. It was just designed by somebody that knew about the craft a lot better than I do. But it works with that really long spade because it's on this Santa Barbara cheek. It's a real light bit and it's a real slow bit. So since the Santa Barbara cheek is slower anyway, because it's forward hung, your mouthpiece is forward hung, so it takes longer for the bit to engage when you pull. This big old long spade, it takes a long time for it to lift up there. So it gives a real slow, real concise signal, and that's why it works. But most of the time, especially with a real fast bit like this is called an Arizona cheek, at least that's what I call it. This son of a gun is fast, and so I want that measurement to be half the distance, so everything just comes out real even. One other thing I want to talk about is how to tell what a signal bit is. A signal bit, your port has to be above your purchase. So this one, it's very obviously above my purchase. Timeout. These two bits, as you can see, the top of the port is below the purchase. You look through the purchase there, and yep, sure enough, it's below. This bit, it kind of looks like a spade, and I guess you'd still call it a spade. But if you look, you'll see that that port is actually below the purchase. So it's not a signal bit at all. It's still got some real advantages having the triggers, and you still get the mouthpiece to make an air bubble back here and pop, give that horse some kind of a signal there, but it's not a true signal bit. So there's just a couple of little deals how to figure out if your bit's a signal bit or not, and why you want these different measurements at these different speeds. Thanks.